You like pretzels, I like potato chips. He likes coffee, and I like tea. He likes it dark, and I like it light. I guess you're wondering what's the secret we have at night. Well, we love each other, but we don't love the same things. We respect each other, but we hate what each other likes. The secret is to let your partner have what they need at night.
Wow. I'm telling you, when you start singing, and I'm not just saying that because they're watching us, but for 30-something years, when you start singing, I feel it in all right, I get a little excited, a little bit of a boner.
He gets excited when I sing, so I'm gonna sing all the time. Why don't you do the laundry today? Yeah. Epstein sweep the floor, okay? Yeah. That doesn't seem to work.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work. When your dick is hard, it's hard to see the dirt. It's really, your focus is on something else.
I know.
Yes.
A lot of people assume that couples that have been together for over 30 years, they do the same thing, they like the same things. That is not the case with us.
No, not at all. Not at all.
We don't have the same taste in food, television, nothing.
Not a thing. I mean, it's pretty amazing, I mean, when it comes to food especially, because, one of the great things about not sharing, though, the same foods, is that we can put our stuff in our refrigerator.
That's
and
right.
we know it's going to be there. Like, she has her snacks like macrobiotic crap.
Like my cauliflower salad, he is not going to touch.
She hates chocolate. She hates anything like, Kit Kats, Nestle's Crunch. She hates all that kind of stuff.
No.
And I love that stuff. So now, because I'm with her, your stuff is safe. My girlfriend before you that I live with, I had gone out, and in those days I used to party a lot, and I had smoked a ton of weed, and I came home, and I had an Entenmann's chocolate-filled cake in the refrigerator, and I knew I was going to eat it. She ate the cake. She ate my cake. So it was like, with you, I know there is absolutely, you're not going to touch my
I will be hungry, and he has those nasty pretzels in there. See, I don't even understand the whole concept of
don't start getting
pretzels.
judgmental with things. Just, you like your crap.
Potato chip, yes.
You like your crap, and I like my crap.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing, we're able to deal with that. You don't have to share with you. This is a big myth. A lot of people think that, you have to share everything. Basically, we share nothing. We share nothing. But
just love.
But it works, so check it out,
Even on vacations. Now, when we first started seeing each other, right? If you know me, I love New Orleans. I love the whole thing about New Orleans. The environment, the atmosphere, the foods, everything. So, this is our first trip together. And I'm like, you're going to love New Orleans, okay? So we get there. I set up all the arrangements. So, I set up this room. It's in the French Quarters. It has lace curtains. One of those old-fashioned bathtubs. I had brought down about 25 candles. No air conditioning, just a ceiling fan, so that when you open the French doors, the wind would blow. I thought this would be so romantic. First of all, when we got to the building, he's like, where's the elevator?
Let me tell you something. There was nothing romantic. And for New Orleans, why people like New Orleans, I have absolutely no idea. It's unbelievably humid there. We get there. We're not in a hotel. It's at some kind of like romantic
B&B.
B&B. There's no ice or soda machine in the hall.
Why do you
There's no air
that?
Conditioning. It is like, I felt like I was in Cat on a Hot Tin Roof?
Right,
it was unbelievably brutal. I couldn't breathe the whole time I was in New Orleans.
I take him to Marie Laveau's graveyard. He's like,
it's a
he's in
graveyard.
all black. He's sweating. He looks so out of place.
We don't enjoy the same vacation spots. No. For me, basically, I don't like to leave from Houston Street to 14th Street. I go east and west. Anywhere else I've gone, and we've gone because we performed in other places, there's really no reason to ever leave Greenwich Village. There's no place in the world that's even close to Greenwich Village in terms of how great it is. So you go to these other places, they basically suck. But she wants to travel. I hate going into airports with the, especially nowadays, you go in there and they're scanning you and touching you. I don't need to travel. But, every once in a while, you're married, you got to deal with this.
Well, we used to do a lot of fringe festivals, right? So whenever we would go to a place, I'm the one that goes out and explores and finds out, okay, where's the place for breakfast? Is there any place you can walk around? It takes him like 3 days to thaw out. First, he has to get used to the bed. Then he has to find that. As soon as where's the ice machine?
I want to find out. I search. I make sure there's not a bed bug in sight. I search. I put all my suitcases in the bathtub. I look for brown and red stains on the sheet. I'm very concerned about these things. So it just proves. And another thing, like because of the corona, we live in an apartment that has one television, and we absolutely do not like the same things.
No.
I didn't even really know what she was really watching until I got trapped in here with her.
Trapped in here with me.
I started noticing that she watches this show Law and Order, which I had never seen in all the years it's been on.
Law and Order.
She watches like 4 hours in a row, and every show is about like child molestation, rape. It's the most unbelievable show, and I'm trying to explain something to her which she doesn't get. Every one of these shows is propaganda. Because they make it seem like the police are really good people. It's just good people. They became police. Yeah, they may have a little flaw, but what they're actually doing is brainwashing you to make you think that the police and the district attorney, that they're really good people. And then I noticed at the end of the show, and this is what made me notice it, I'm watching it, and everybody's name flies by, like zooms by, and then the guy Dick Wolf, I never knew this guy, he owns like 100 TV shows, his name comes up, and I'm trying to explain to her that Dick Wolf works for the power elite. He brainwashes people to think.
It is an entertainment show, but let's go back to something. I came home one evening. He's in here crying. I'm thinking,
all right, I started crying.
No, I'm thinking somebody died. You know what show he was watching? The Sopranos.
The Sopranos was the last show I got addicted to before I realized that this is just all addiction. You stare at the screen, and my wife, I try to help her out by telling her, watching 4 hours in a row of child molesters, rapists, all this crap.
I'm not going out and doing that stuff.
But it affects your mind, though. You don't realize it affects your mind.
Yeah, but you know what? Guess what? He's addicted to it now.
So anyway, all right, I watched one of the shows, and I got a little bit emotional.
Yes.
I'm not saying you can't manipulate me. We're all very easily manipulated, and that's why we have to watch all the stuff that they're giving to us. It's just brainwashing. But we do agree on one thing. We agree that we both like nature shows. So the other day, we're watching this nature show, and it's about panda bears. And what basically it is these people are following these pandas because it's mating season. And there's this, they're going through snow, like unbelievable torture.
Which he could never do.
There's basically 2 males that want to fuck the same panda. Now, when I saw her, I didn't think she was hot at all. But these 2 pandas are out of control for her, right? They fight each other. They rip. One's an old panda, right? He's like, they call him like the alpha male. He's the tough guy. But there's a young guy, and he wants it too.
He's coming in to take over the territory.
He's trying to, but he has to get rid of him. And the panda woman, she's in a tree.
Just looking.
And she looks, and then all of a sudden, one day, the young guy wasn't around, and the old guy comes by, but she don't want him. She makes this thing. And then basically we learn and I'm not lying, I mean, these guys travel miles. These guys fight each other. There's blood all over there. These guys will do anything for coochie. And I want it, but I'm not fighting guys in the snow.
In the cold, in the snow.
In the snow, and for days. If I want it like for a minute or two. Now I'm an old guy. Like I'll take it, but I'm not gonna risk.
Oh, he's not gonna walk a block.
I'm not gonna kill myself for coochie. I'm sorry, ladies. I know you love that. And this female panda, she really was into it. She was a tease. This was a tease. She almost had like on a thong on. I mean, not really, but I'm thinking it. And finally what happens, and this is what really depresses me, she chooses the young guy. So the old panda who worked his ass off. This panda worked his ass off. Now he's old. He's old. And what does she want? What does this woman want? She wants this young guy. And I'm looking at him. I mean, basically, I couldn't really tell the difference.
Oh, you
And then
could
I said
tell.
to you, I bet you his dick is bigger. And you're going, now, everything's not about dick size.
It wasn't about that.
But it was something. Let me tell you something. no matter how much you love coochies, and I know there are guys out there that think they love it, you are not close to a panda.
No.
And this is another thing.
No, animals do that though. That's what we love about animal shows. Whenever one is in heat and what they want, and it's very territorial because the old dude, he has to keep fighting.
It's so sad.
Remember we saw the monkeys? Like it's exhausting. Like you got to keep fighting them young fucking guys that come in there.
And I started thinking, like, whoever made the creation, right? They made it so that animals, they have to, they have to have their genes and they fight. It's like, the creator was a very sadistic S&M torturer. Only somebody super sadistic would make this thing work. Because I'm not telling there was so much snow, so many fights. It was unbelievable.
Going up mountains, coming down.
But at least we shared that. We can share. Yeah. Once that was over, we're back. She's in doing her thing. Watching.
He's eating his pretzels.
And I didn't know. Law and Order is on like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for Dick Wolf. He puts his name on the screen for like a half an hour at the end. Dick Wolf. Dick Wolf. Nobody else. You don't see their names. They fly by. But Dick fucking Wolf. His name is up there.
And you know what's really even amazing about those kind of shows is that you'll watch like 3 shows in a row of like a pedophile. Someone who cuts off people's faces like it's just you're watching a commercial on soup.
Yeah.
I mean, they normify it.
Normify.
What's the word?
Normify. I'm going to agree. No, I will never correct you.
No,
that's
correct
another thing.
Me.
Normalize? I never heard of normify. Maybe
you
need to watch shows that aren't crushing your brain.
Maybe I need to watch those Pandas more and just think about that.
Yeah, think about young men. I know that's what you were thinking. You were thinking about that. Well, anyway.
You better get on a mountain, baby.
Moving on to our book, which actually connects with this story. We wrote this book. Here it is, What You Can and Cannot Say During Interracial Sex.
Yes.
Very funny book. And in this book, we talk about something that many people find very radical, and we're going to read it for you. Excerpt from our book. We do this each week because we're trying to turn you on to actually go and purchase this book. This is the concept. I don't know if it's working. From what I've seen, it hasn't worked at all. You never know. You can't quit. I'm like that fucking young panda. I am a young panda.
That's right. And I'm the one in the tree. You better work.
So we call this sleeping in separate beds.
Yes.
So once again, even our sleeping thing, we don't, even though we're in a tiny little apartment. All right, here we go. So I'm going to start.
Okay.
You see, Hassan snores. She doesn't snore every night, but when she gets going, it's impossible to sleep near her. Just imagine a Louis Armstrong trumpet solo, and you will get an understanding of what it's like. It's loud, brash, and it often goes on for extended play. Early in this marriage, I would shake her or wake her up. But if it's a snoring night, she wakes up, she goes right back to bed, and then starts snoring again. I lost my place.
Yeah.
Hassan falls asleep very quickly. I do not. So any disturbances or sounds can lead to a night of tossing and turning and listening. When we got married, like most couples, we shared a bed. We actually did this for the first 25 years of our marriage. The truth was, sleeping in the same bed was ruining our marriage. We had to confront the situation because it wasn't getting any better.
Yes.
Hassan?
Yes.
It's you.
I know. I said yes.
Oh.
That was a dramatic pause.
I'm sorry, I fucked up a dramatic pause.
Okay.
The whole panda thing is still working through me because there could be a young guy waiting in apartment number 3 to get my wife. Okay, I'm sorry.
I snore, but it's not every night. Meanwhile, once Epstein turned 50, he started peeing every 20 minutes. It was like living with a water fountain. I would fall asleep and off he would go to the bathroom, waking me up and turning the light on. On and off, on and off, on and off, at least 10 times a night. Now, if this isn't bad enough, he had to make a pit stop at the refrigerator to get a pretzel and eat it in bed.
I like my pretzels cold, by the way. Go ahead.
So I had a light show with a water fountain and pretzel crumbs for dessert in my bed. Real romantic, right? Needless to say, sleeping becomes very stressful for us, and we made the radical decision to sleep in separate beds. At first, we worried that the intimacy of sleeping together would be missed. Well, we were wrong. So wrong. Dead wrong. We loved it.
Yeah.
You want to finish that? in our separate beds.
Where am I?
He's not paying attention.
See, we sleep in separate beds. I sleep with a fan near my head and on the other side of the room to drown out her snoring.
I no longer have to smell his farts as direct hits when he moves from under the blanket. His constant trips to the bathroom do not disturb me. Plus the pretzel crumbs. We only share the same bed now when we are messing around.
You know what happened? A lot of the words are not in the right place. But I know you tried your best to do this, but that's why I fucked up. I was paying attention.
The words are in the right place.
They're not in the right place.
I missed a line.
Oh, you missed a line.
Yeah, but you didn't have to bring that up. You could have just went with the flow.
See, this is another thing. Like, let's say a man has a nice, when I fart, I'm not farting to torture her. This becomes like a major thing, like I'm doing it to punish her. So now, she has fans blowing.
Unless you're into it, you don't want to hear. And the thing is that...
Who cooks my food?
I cook your food.
So you put stuff in there that makes me fart. So it's not even really my fault.
Don't blame your digestive system on me.
Be fair. Be fair.
Okay. We only share the same bed now when we mess around. Whichever bed we're in, we call it the happy bed.
The happy bed.
Yes.
That's
It's a
fun.
treat, and when we finish, we go right back to our separate beds and sleep. As a bigger apartment, if we get a bigger apartment, we would sleep in separate rooms.
See, and a lot of people, when we've gotten comments on this, that people think it's like really not romantic. Let me tell you something. A good night's sleep is really good for your marriage.
Yes.
When we were sleeping together, this, it wasn't really, maybe the first couple of weeks that we were together, you want to hold each other at night. I don't want to hold her at night.
I hated that.
You hated it too. Like the holding and I happen to drool a lot and I drool on her pillow and this way.
And the thing is, I like to sleep on a sheet, right? I like a cool sheet with the blanket on top. He doesn't like a sheet. Who doesn't like sheets?
Look, the first time I was making a joke, I put the white sheet on. She got all nervous. It's like you gotta.
Oh, that sucked. that was just terrible. That was just.
I'm a comedian. Ultimately.
Well, one wants to be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you see, there's a tension between us today,
yeah.
and a lot of it had to do with the panda. There's no question about it, right?
Yes,
the panda really messed with us.
Yes.
This is a really funny piece. Don't listen to what just happened because it kind of was out of sync for some reason. I'm not blaming.
It wasn't out of sync.
Okay, it seemed out of sync to me.
No,
I don't know what it was.
You had to read it.
Oh, okay.
And you had to pay attention. Were you like this in school?
Yes.
You didn't pay attention.
No. They didn't know in my day what it was. Like, I had definitely what they... I never paid attention from the minute class started till the end of the day. All I was doing was daydreaming. When I was a little kid, I was daydreaming, like being on the Mets and stuff like that. By junior high school, I was horny the entire day. Like, I don't know how people, when they get like 12 and 13, how they do well in school. Like, for me, all day long, I was unbelievably horny. Like,
About what?
There were girls around me. When I was like 13, I was masturbating 6-7 times a day. I didn't even have skin on my dick by the end of my day, my school day. That was how horny I was all the time. And it's not my fault. Once again, like the panda. It's the same shit. God, whoever made this shit, made this the way we are.
But see, it's sad because it wasn't that girls weren't horny. It was almost like we weren't supposed to express that. Because if you remember when you went to school,
stop.
No, you weren't. You weren't. Guys could sit around and talk about that. What did you call the girl who was like doing stuff? You would call them the hoes in class.
No, I never used that term.
Well, a lot of times they were.
Maybe
and they
more,
were just the freer ones. That's all.
We loved girls like that. We loved those.
Yeah, but
girls.
You wouldn't marry them.
I did. I'm a comedian. I told you.
That was good.
That one was good, right?
Yeah,
that one was good. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that
all
was
right.
good. Yeah.
So that was from our book. And by the way, don't let that horrific reading of the thing.
I'm gonna go open the door for our friend.
Okay. As you know, if you've seen the first few shows that we've done, we call this show Dirty Truth Tellers. And each episode we will bring on a truth teller. And tonight is really exciting because tonight our truth teller is a guy who we work with a lot. We used to do a radio show called The Black and the Jew Comedy Hour. We had many great co-people with us, the great Smoke Cats, The Blade, Big Al from Speaking Spanish. And the artistic director of The Black and the Jew Comedy Hour was a gentleman who's an old jazz musician. We lost the photo again, but I don't know if that matters. I'm trying to, oh, here we go, I'm back. He was the artistic director of the Black and the Jew Comedy Hour. He's a legendary jazz drummer, and tonight he had a couple of topics that he spoke to us that he would like to discuss. So please welcome to Epstein and Hassan's Dirty Truth Tellers, the great Joe Keys. Joe, welcome.
Yeah, man.
How are you, my man?
Good.
I'd like to give you a round of applause because
Thank
I
you,
know you're a
man.
musician and stuff.
Yeah. TV. Yeah.
You like seeing it?
Yeah.
I know that must have bummed you out. Did you hear the story about the Pandas?
Yeah, man.
Because you're an old guy,
Yeah,
so
but that don't pertain to me.
you're still getting them.
I've gotten young girls.
You get young girls.
Women. Yeah, they want that.
Well, you're a drummer, right? And women
'Cause
like
I know
musicians.
rhythm.
And you have rhythm, right? You
I
can
know
do four
rhythm.
things at one
Yeah.
time, right? 4 things. You have
Yeah.
2 arms, 2 legs. That amazes me that people...
I saw your first show, man.
Yes.
I really liked it, and I know I saw a review somebody said about editing that. Don't edit your shit, man. Make it real.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said we should edit our show.
We
but
don't want it. Why do that, man?
This show is going to be raw. We're coming at you. We have no editing. Whatever you see is going to be. We're going to just play it.
That's
and
right.
Unlike we're doing this on a Sunday. I watched Saturday Night Live last night. The beginning of it.
I
right?
couldn't, man. That shit sucked.
They have like 47
Couldn't
writers.
watch it.
They have 47 people writing that show.
Yeah.
The opening was the debate. The third debate between Trump and Biden. They have it was just there's no jokes. They have like so many writers of writing jokes. You would think that like they could come up with like
How many
one.
writers you and Hassan
We have no
have?
writers. We're writing all of this. No editing. This is raw. This is raw. This is it. We just tell it like it is. Truth telling. Now
Yeah.
you were very upset about what happened in the news the other day about Jeffrey Toobin.
Ah, yeah.
If people don't know about this, should I tell them or
Yeah,
you want to
tell
tell? He was in the middle of he's the CNN news analyst. He
Yeah,
also writes
yeah.
for the New Yorker. And there was some Zoom thing where people get together as a group
Yeah.
and they were planning out how they were going to do something.
Yeah,
And all the
yeah.
heavy writers at the New Yorker were all in this thing. And the thing ends, or it's about to end, and Jeffrey Toobin thinks that he was no longer visible on
Right,
Zoom,
right.
and he's jerking off. He's jerking the fuck off. He doesn't. Just imagine that. Just imagine if you know who Jeffrey Toobin is. So why did that bother you so much, Joe?
Man, I'm getting a drink, man. Well, let me tell you something. Let me unbutton my coat, man, so I can be comfortable. Well, first of all, man, I got a neighbor that lives next door to me. His name is Earl Wilson. Now, I always wondered, like some of y'all don't know me, I'm a musician, right? So, I'm home in the day, go out at night and do my work. But I noticed, like, I've been living next to Earl for over 30 years. Earl gets up, he's out at 8 o'clock. I hear him, right? Comes home at 5:30. Every day, 7 days a fucking week. So I'm like, Earl, man, what you do for a living, man? And he told me he was a flasher, professional flasher.
He does that for a living?
And that's what I said. I said, man, that's a job. He goes, you don't understand, man. From what I wear to the train that I go on, how I position myself.
It's not really a job. He just takes it seriously.
Yeah,
It's not.
I did not. I never heard no shit like
Wow,
that.
that is weird. That is weird.
But I gotta tell you something, see. Earl is an old school flasher, right? They got the coat on, they open it, you respond, and they leave. There's new shit on Zoom where you take your dick out and you're watching. There's no character, no interaction. The thing of flasher, he said to me, because he was upset by this motherfucker.
My Toobin.
Yeah, he's making a bad name for them.
I mean, there's some truth to what you're saying, because, like, the same thing with Anthony Weiner. This thing about, sending your picture out on the internet.
Is that, well, first of all, when your name is Wiener, you know you're
When your
fucked
name
up.
is Weiner, that's true. But it's kind of a cowardly way to flash.
Yeah.
Like the old school flashes, I mean, you're
Earl
going on a
went through shit
subway.
in life.
You know, you're going down there. The person
Now,
might
when
have,
he compared himself to Martin Luther King, I told him that was too
not
far.
Martin Luther King. I mean, he had a dream, but it's a different
Yeah,
kind of
but
dream.
he said, you know, he had to.
But this is the whole thing with technology.
Him,
Even flashing has been. They've taken the improv out of flashing. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's a big.
Those old school flashes.
Well, he said to me, you know, man, you gotta time it.
Hey, you gotta do it.
You gotta read. You gotta be able to read in the room, right in the train. Who can I go up to? Who can I do this shit to?
Now, a lot of times, if you do that, they'll take a photo of you on your phone.
He can.
Yeah, that's a new thing. Like
Yeah.
that technology has changed flashing.
Fucked it up for flash.
You know, because if any guy jerks on the train now, you know your picture's going to be in like the New York Post or the Daily
Well, I was
News.
on the train once, right? And this guy was sitting across, right? And I'm sitting, this is when, you know, I read the paper, I'm checking my number. I'm sitting next to this black woman, right? This guy, new school flasher, right? He got his dick out behind his bag.
I mean, new school. He's old school.
Wait,
He's on the
wait,
subway.
wait. He's filming himself.
He's filming himself.
With his dick
Wow.
out. Right?
Wow.
And this lady saw it. She said, "Motherfucker, I will beat your dick with that camera."
Wow. See, but that's the risk you take. That's the difference.
What kind of shit is that?
But that's the difference. You take a risk when you're in public. You know,
Yeah.
flashes are kind of pathetic. I mean, let's face it. I mean, that's a kind of weird thing you want to take your dick out in public.
See, my
but
thing
Jeffrey
is-
Toobin, that guy is jerking off during the meeting.
Oh,
That's
he
the whole
been
point.
doing that
He was
shit.
playing with himself. Like right now, if I was under the table, the people wouldn't know. I'd be doing this like
Yeah,
this. Maybe
yeah.
you'd see my hand. Whoa.
No, I ain't gonna let you reaching for the light, man. Get the fuck out. But see, the thing is, that dude was jerking off at meetings all the time. What happened was, you know, you do that Zoom shit, right? Everybody's on the screen right now, and then at the end they go, goodbye, and he's sitting there like looking at somebody on that screen was turning his ass on.
Oh, absolutely. So be careful when you're doing Zoom.
You
Like,
gotta
be very
make
careful.
sure that shit is
make
off.
sure, you know, even if you're speaking about somebody, you think you turn your audio off and you call somebody.
See,
something
I
bad.
do it the old fucking fashioned way. I just jerk there. Ain't
At home.
nobody
I jerk at
around.
home. If I'm at home.
Yeah, at home.
Yeah. So what else do you have to say? Because we're running out of time,
Okay,
Joe.
all right. Well, you know, my niece.
This is your main reason for being here. You told me something really upset you about your family.
Yeah, my niece got a job doing an intern, right? She wants to be an artist. So this company gave her an internship. Now, this is $1 billion fucking company. And they want her to intern. I'm like, they ain't paying you no money. She said, Uncle Joe, you don't understand. I said, but they ain't paying you no fucking money.
That's the new thing companies do. Not that new, but
me
they've been
tell
doing
y'all
that for a
something.
while.
Being an intern is a modern day slave.
I agree with you 100%.
They can pay for your fucking transportation.
They don't even do that. They sucker
I'm
people.
sorry.
They make you work for free. This is a thing that goes on in corporations. You're an intern. You're in college, and it gives you credits. Meanwhile, you're still paying to go to
Yeah, you're
college.
still paying
You're still
for it,
working
man.
for the company, and they're using you basically, as you just said. It's kind
But
of like
here's the
21st
thing.
century slavery.
They do this shit with artists. But your surgeon, right? He ain't interning.
No.
But you know, if you're an artist,
You don't want your surgeon
no, but
interning.
if you're an
That's a
artist,
good one,
you know,
though.
they
Your
like-
surgeon. You
yeah.
want your surgeon with a little experience.
You know, but if you're an artist, right, they're like, can you play at my wedding? You know, I'll give you some cake. Fuck cake.
It's funny you said surgeon, because I just got to say that, and then we got to wrap it up. Because, you know, I made a statement that, like, when you're a Supreme Court justice or a senator and you're
Right,
over
right,
80, 85, it's time to give it a rest. Like, retire and let younger people come in. And people got mad at me, and they were saying, no, you're an ageist, So I always ask them the same question. Do you want an 85-year-old surgeon? Do
Is
you
she
want
cute?
an 85-year-old person flying your plane? And the answer is no, you don't. But a senator or a Supreme Court justice or a president now, the two morons that are running currently, they're both like old guys.
What about comedians, man?
Comedians can do it as old. That's the good thing about being comedians.
Why?
You don't have to look good. I mean, you can be old and be a comedian.
That's true.
You can. But anyway, Joe, we're running out of time. It was
All
great
right.
having you on. Please,
too,
ladies
man.
and gentlemen, the great Joe
Don't
Hughes.
intern
Joe
for no
Hughes.
fucking body.
Interning
Make
is
them pay
slavery.
your
It's
transportation.
slavery.
Yeah.
Internships are slavery.
Yeah,
You know, make them
yeah,
pay. Make
yeah,
them pay you a
yeah,
salary. What do you
yeah.
mean internship?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's a scam. That's another scam. It's like when people nowadays are, they call them private contractors that drive for Uber or drive for Lyft. They're not private contractors. They work for you. You should be giving them benefits, you know. But of course, they buy off the politicians, so now that they don't have to pay benefits, you're a private contractor. Right. Uber and Lyft are losing billions of dollars. They don't seem to care, which is kind of weird. But anyway, that's today's show, Hassan.
Yes.
That's today's show.
Yes.
It was a unique show. Would you say? Did you enjoy yourself?
I loved it.
It was great having Joe Keys.
Yes.
If you what are they supposed to do? Subscribe and stuff.
Please do. Please subscribe to our show
and share it on Facebook.
Yes.
I mean, at the moment right now, the only people that we can even let them know about our show is through Facebook. I don't know how you do it otherwise. And,
any ideas, let us know.
Let us know.
But before we end, what we want to do is give you a tip, okay? Black Jew Love Technology tip. Things change early in the marriage. You loved sleeping together 25 years and you were driving each other nuts. What is the tip? Be open to change. Everything is impermanent, including you.
Everything is impermanent. That's some deep shit we're living with. Like, do you know that the body that we started this show with today is now 100% different?
Gone with the wind.
It's totally different. We literally change moment to moment, but we don't think so. So that's some deep shit we left you with. I know we talked about flashers and pandas coming, so we want to give you some deep shit.
We tell you the dirty truth.
We tell you that's what the name of the show is, the Dirty Truth Teller. So we'll see you again. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Epstein and Hassan, Black and the Jew. And now for a review of today's show. Here are the Jackies.
Are you gonna say anything, or you just?
Well, I'm gonna walk by, okay? She has to walk by before I
can't
say
see.
anything.
Okay.
You can't see in the camera. What's the matter with you?
I don't see myself now.
Well, you didn't see you, but we
What
could
did
see
you think
her.
of the show?
I thought the show was good. The whole panda thing, man. That's
Wow,
kinda
I
weird.
never heard of panda sex
Yeah,
before.
well, animals are always like that.
They're really horny, those
They're
guys.
horny motherfuckers,
And
man.
Joe Key's roommate, his job is to be a flasher.
What kind of job? I wonder if he gets, like, benefits.
Does he get benefits as their unemployment?
Well,
I
we
don't
can
understand
flash.
that.
Let's flash right now.
Let's flash, okay?
Nobody
we're the
can see, but what do we
Jackies.
have?
We got
Yeah, look
nothing.
at it. We got